Welcome to Life in the Wild, Holiday Edition. Thank you for joining. I'm your head professional, Kyle Kirk. On today's edition, we'll be covering some club events, some tournament updates, as well as Pros Corner and what's in the bag. And let's not forget, the World Handicap System. Before we jump into club events, I just want to take a moment on behalf of Pine Wild and the staff to say thank you to the entire membership for your generosity with the Christmas fund. It is definitely appreciated, and I know there's many staff members that truly look forward to this time, and it definitely helps them and their families. So again, thank you for your generosity, and thank you for supporting Pine Wild. Now moving on to club events. Couple things coming up next week. Just remember, Christmas Eve, the club will close at 3 o'clock. The club will remain closed for Christmas. And then following on the 26th, the club will open back up from 9 to 5. Now the next event we have coming up will be January 1st, is the Bloody Mary Bash. The Bloody Mary Bash typically was a golf event, but due to years past, we've had some unfortunate weather, and it's just been very spotty this time of year. And so what we've decided to do is just cut right to the important stuff, and that's Chef's Chili Bar that he offers and the Bloody Marys. So how it's going to work this year is if you'd like to join us for chili on New Year's Day, just please contact the restaurant here and they'll take your reservation. But what's cool is we'll actually start serving Bloody Marys in the golf shop at 9:30. So if you need to get a little hair off the dog because you had a little celebration the night before, which I don't blame you, come 9:30, we'll start serving them right there in the golf shop. And if you want to play golf this year, it's just on your own. So you just make your normal tee times, arrange your normal games, and then Chef will have the chili bar set up for all those who want to join later. Tournaments. What's new in tournaments for 2020? You may be thinking the World Handicap System, and you are correct. But there's something else I want to discuss right now, and that is the introduction to Golf Genius. Pine Wild has adopted Golf Genius into our club here, and we'll be making the final transition at towards the latter part of February, beginning of March. We're currently going through some training right now, but we're really looking forward to using the Golf Genius system. There's just many other features that will allow us to really communicate with the membership, keeping them up to date with the tournaments, allowing even those who are not participating to follow the tournament from home. So please look forward to that. In saying that, there's one thing that I'll have you keep an eye out for. In January, I'll be sending out an email, and it will be an email from Golf Genius, and that email will be asking to update your profile. This is an important email for us in the club. One reason is for us to be able to use the system in the way we'd like to, we have to make sure we have all the current information. So if you happen to receive that email, please just take a moment, look through it, make sure the information we have in there is accurate. If we do not have the information in there, there's information missing. If you could be so kind and take a moment, fill out that information. One of the things that it will be asking for is a cell phone number. The new system will have the ability to text. Now this won't be a feature that we will use all the time, but it is a great feature, and that happen circumstance that the weather changes and we need to notify everybody that the tournament's been delayed an hour. The text feature allows us to have opportunities to do that. So there's a lot of new features that we'll start to introduce this following year. But with that being said, just keep an eye out for the profile email that's going to be coming out in January. Look over it. If there's any information there that we have failed to include or it's missing, if you could just take a moment and make sure you fill that in for us. Thank you. What's in the bag? Well, as you can see, at this moment in the episodes, typically when I have a nice shiny new club, some new products that are in the coming out to introduce to you. Today I'm empty-handed. But what I do want to talk about is I want you to get your calendars out, and I want you to mark a little red circle around April 1st. Save that date. First time ever, Pine Wild will be hosting a demo fitting extravaganza. Now, why are we calling it extravaganza? Because in that day, we will have all the vendors present. So, a couple important things to mark for that date. That is a Wednesday, is a week before Masters, and it will be held from 10 to 3. And we'll have every vendor that we work with out on the driving range. That being said, if it's something that you're wanting to look at hitting some new product, definitely we want you to be there. If it's something you want to get maybe some TrackMan time and to do a fittings with the vendors are typically a half hour, not much longer than that. They're very good at what they do. But I say that as the TrackMan access and fittings will have to be scheduled appointments only. The only way that they'll do a TrackMan fitting is if they have an open appointment. But I say that because I know that in years past we've had these spread out over several weeks. But with it being that day, there's going to be some contests that we have down there at the driving range. We'll have food and beverage services down there as well. It's going to be a fun time and allow everybody to make sure they can see everything on the same day. So you don't have to wait all spring to get your order in and get that new club in your bag. So if you have any further questions, we'll be releasing that information moving on probably in the next month or so as we start to incorporate more of the Golf Genius and getting the tournament software up and running. We'll start to post those schedules so you can access those. And I will definitely be putting up the fitting schedules for each vendor, and that's where you'll go in just like you would a tournament, sign up for that half-hour increment. So again, we look forward to it, and we hope it really helps you, the member, be able to have an opportunity to hit all the vendors at once. Here we are at Pros Corner. And this time of the episode is when I like to cover some instruction and some things that we can work on as a membership, as well as myself and our staff, to just take an opportunity to hit the ball a little bit better. Well, in the off season, obviously with it being cold out, it's not the desired playing conditions to go out there and play. So what can we do in the off season? Well, there's a lot of things we can do in the off season as far as stretching, building some muscle, so forth. But one of the things that I want to talk about is something I learned in my last teaching seminar, which was held in October. There was a new company, it's called Speed Golf. And the company really worked through finding out what golfers can do to increase speed. Now, why is this important? Everybody wants to hit the ball further. As you know, you're not a golfer if you don't want to hit the ball further. Everybody wants to hit the ball further. How do we do that? We do that by increasing swing speed. That is the easiest way to generate further distance. Now the question is, how do we get our body to generate more speed? And this is where people over the years thought maybe it's conditioning. Yes. It could be they need to swing a heavier club, as the old thought of putting a donut on the bat. But this company has really broke through and has taken other major sports and has found kind of the secret of increasing speed. And believe it or not, it's a neurological trait. So they're stating that when they go through and do this training, that it's training your mind to know that it can, in fact, swing faster. So when we talk about muscle memory, what they're actually discussing is the neurological pattern. So as somebody has in other sports, your repetitive motion, you got to build that. You want to continue to improve, there's ways that you can do it. Speed Golf has really taken the time and looked at and had some doctors come in and work with them. And they did a study with 13 PGA professionals at this last teaching seminar. Between the 13 professionals, in a matter of half hour, the least amount of increase of speed was 3 miles per hour. Now, 3 miles per hour in a swing speed is still pretty good. If you've ever tried to swing faster and do it in a way that you're still hitting the ball well, it's difficult to do. But out of those 13 people, they had one person that even got up to 19 miles per hour. So the average was right around 7 to 8 miles per hour. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you take 1 mile per hour equals 2.5 yards. So if you add 10 miles per hour, you're at 20 plus yards. So I say this is one of the programs I may be trying to introduce later in the winter as far as the spring. And how this is, it's a club that you take and you're working on just taking some repetitive swings, but it's dealing with some weights that actually allow you to train yourself to swing faster. And you're still able to keep your normal swing. So again, just something to think about. I'll learn a little bit more about it as I go through some special workshops with this company, but I think it's some really interesting material. If you have any questions, by all means, my door's open. Come in, ask me. I'd be love to sit down and tell you a little more in person about it. So typically after Pro's Corner, the episode would be finished. But I promised you that I would talk about the World Handicap System. And maybe I should pull a chair up to sit down, because there's a lot of information that's going to be changing. We have sent out, just so you know, we have sent out our first email, which went out on the 15th to the entire membership. If you're watching this episode right now and you did not receive that email, please contact us in the golf shop so we can get you a copy of that sent out. Now, what's nice is at the bottom of this video, attached with this email, are the 5 attachments that we included in the first email out to the membership discussing what you need to know, how you can prepare for the World Handicap System. That system will integrate and will transition from January 1st to January 6th. So the entire GEN operating system, admin system per se, is going to be shut down from January 1st to January 6th. As it starts on January 6th, it will be into the new World Handicap System. Now with that, there's certain things that we are doing right now in the golf shop as far as updating profiles, updating information to make sure that that is in fact correct as we transition into the new system. But there may be a call, maybe an email that you see from the golf shop, and if you do happen to receive one from us, please just take a moment, fill that out and get it back to us. It's probably dealing with some updated information. One of the things that I want to discuss with you right now that I'd say that's important to know is with the new system, each person that has a GEN number will have to have their own email associated to that GEN number. So if you happen to be a couple that are sharing the same email, we will need to separate or segregate those emails so you have one per person. They will not allow people to share their emails going into the GEN system. That being said, as I mentioned earlier with the introduction of Golf Genius actually built the platform for the new World Handicap System that GEN is using. So with that being said, same as Golf Genius will be using your GEN Handicap System as your logon ID, and they will have an email associated to that. But as far as the World Handicap System goes, they want to have one email per person. So if that happens to be, you happen to be that couple that's sharing emails, if you'd like to get a separate email so you both can have that GEN number and you're having some questions about that, do not hesitate to come and see me. If you need any help setting up an email, we can still set it up, and you can use it the same way you've been using it, but it will help with the new system. So any questions with that, please come see me, Alan, Hope, and we'll be more than willing to talk through it with you. But with that being said, we'll be sending out some more emails, kind of preparing everybody to make sure that we as a club will be prepared for that transition come January 1st. The date that I want you to mark on your calendar is January 15th. January 15th, starting at 3 p.m., the CGA will be coming to the clubhouse here and hosting an exclusive seminar for the membership. And they'll definitely be here to answer any of the questions that you may have, and I know there's going to be a lot of questions. But all in all, I do believe that the new system is going to have features, again, that are going to be better than the previous system. One of the things that the new system is really going to incorporate is technology. So that being said, if you have a smartphone, but you do not have the CGA app or the Gen app, definitely download that app. As the transition happens, they will update the app, and that will automatically update on your phone if you have your phone to set for automatic updates. Now, why is this important? When we set up the posting in January in the clubhouse here, if you come into the men's or ladies locker room to post, you'll be posting your 18-hole score. But if you have your Gen app and you come in and you want to post, you can post hole by hole on that app. Now, why is this new? Why is this important? Well, this actually has a feature called stats. And by doing that, it will actually build a stat report for you so you can kind of see what your averages are, so forth. These type of programs years ago were very popular with colleges and coaches, and they were a very expensive program to add into the program to help the college teams. But with this new system, this is something that's included in that handicap service. So again, we won't be offering that in the clubhouse. In the clubhouse, you'll simply post your gross score. But if you want to post hole by hole and really utilize that feature of stats, you're able to do that whether it be on your smartphone, your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop. Now, we'll definitely suggest we want to post our scores post-round. So that doesn't mean you're posting live scoring on the golf course. That's not what it's there for. It's to post after the round. So, but again, the stats feature is something that's really, really neat, and it's, I think, a tremendous asset for those who want to see kind of what they're averaging. And with that knowledge, it gives you a little bit of a chance to have more of an effective practice, which is going to make you a better golfer. So again, we'll be sending out some new emails, so please keep an eye out for those. January 15th from 3 p.m., starting at 3 p.m. to probably 5 o'clock, the CJ will be here at Pine Wild conducting their World Handicap Seminar. So again, thank you for viewing. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe to the channel, anytime there's a new video, it will automatically give you an alert for you to watch. So again, I'm your head professional, Kyle Kirk. Thank you for taking a moment to view us. And from Pine Wild to you and your family, Merry Christmas.